Well, at least there weren't any Ewoks in it. This is Eragon on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at this!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at this!
It stinks.
Hello, welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies by bad movie lovers for some bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. There's Sam across from me and Jackie diagonally to me. How's being diagonally to me, Jackie? To me, because, it's about me.
Well, if you'd shut up, you could hear my telepathy
Right, no,
going.
I want to talk more about how your position relates to me.
I was giving it to you through my dragon telepathy.
And enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think of me? Samuel, how's being a dragon man?
It's like being a dragon.
Yeah,
man.
A little strong bad shout out.
Yeah. I would rather watch that for 6 hours than watch this ever again. Actually, this was pretty fun.
Yeah, you're hard to get me away from the Homestar Runner anyways, but this episode of Stinker Madness is brought to you by our wonderful contributors on patreon.com. Thank you all who monthly give us your hard-earned monies so that we can make the show better and provide you with even more fun crap. You're handsome and or beautiful and have great butts. Every one of you.
As Al Pacino would say, she's got a great ass.
That's dumb. That's awful.
It's in Heat. He does it. I didn't make that up. Al Pacino made that up.
Speaking of Patreon.com supporters, the main sponsor, I guess, of this show is Jack B, who met the requirements in order to pick two movies for us to lampoon. This being his second. We already did Fist of the Vampire, which we did not enjoy. Now we're into his pick of big budget teen beat reading.
Teen beat. Is that a thing still?
Lonely kids who
Don't worry,
love
Jack.
fantasy.
I've got just the thing to thank you.
Oh, not a song.
That's my dragon.
That's gotta
It
get.
sounds like all the other animals.
Yeah,
That's a dragon. Shut up.
Huh.
That's what they sound like. If dragons can have feathers, then my
That's true.
weird noise can be dragon noise.
So if you would like to contribute and possibly contribute enough to get us to do two of your movies, go to patreon.com/stinker madness. You also get our exclusive t-shirt if you meet that level, which I think is the cool as ice level.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, do that.
Jackie, can you confirm or deny that Teen Beat still exists?
I cannot.
Maybe it's
But
like
I'm going to think that it's kind of like the Cube in the mall that is now just the teen fashion area, but it used to be called the Cube.
Okay. All
Is
right.
that the
At
hot
Macy's.
topic?
No, it wasn't Macy's. And it was a whole section just for teenagers, and it used to be called the Cube.
Huh.
And the ceiling, which is still there and it still works, lights up in different colors, gradients, and changes color all day long.
Because teens love gradients.
Yeah,
Sounds like they love bullshit.
they do love bullshit.
This movie was for them. They love bullshit.
Yeah. No
I
kidding.
walked through there in desperation to use the restroom, which is on the other side of this teenage area.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my God, seriously, people are wearing this stuff? Like jean jackets with bullshit fancy. It looks like somebody has bedazzled it like their grandma made it for them. And
The teenagers are wearing Canadian tuxedos, is what you're telling
yes.
me. Okay.
They also like army fatigue looking stuff.
Sure, that's always been popular, though.
And very, very short skirts.
Yep.
That's very popular, if you know what I'm saying.
Gross.
Well, I mean, when you're have an adult woman wearing tiny skirts, but
I don't know. I've seen some adult women in tiny skirts lately, and no.
no, yeah, I'm okay. You're right. Yeah, no, stop it with the tiny skirts. Unless you're a teenager and
you're a whore. I don't know.
Even when you have a nice butt, if your butt's showing, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, it's where you shit.
Like, hey, look at my butt's showing. Yep, your butt's showing.
You're gross.
The muscles that are the top of your legs and protect your butthole are showing. Correct. Mm-hmm. That is.
You know what's gross?
That's great.
Is that kid had to get a ride to the store to get this skirt, right?
Right.
Or
Sure.
to the mall so you can see
they
the
could
butt.
take the bus, or they could possibly drive.
You're making the bus.
Why you can't take the bus when you're a teenager?
No, you'll never get there.
Well, good point.
That's
okay.
In our city. If you take the bus, you'll arrive next week.
Right. Sure. Okay.
But anyway, they have to put that butt somewhere, and so somebody's car's got a racing stripe.
Not everybody has shit on their ass, Jackie. In fact, very few people have shit on their ass.
You don't know that.
I do, in fact, know that because I have never seen a racing stripe on somebody's goddamn chair. You need to do a better job in the bathroom.
There's only one way to tell. You give people the credit check. Just swiping butts. Go into jail for sexual assault.
So we talk about the stink palm all the time.
Yes.
What is it when you use somebody else's butthole to give somebody else a stink palm?
That's a team effort, sir.
Yeah. What if the other person isn't even aware?
How do you not be aware?
Yeah, how do you
What
not
if
be aware?
you're in the process of toppling a third world dictatorship regime, and you're stabbing that former dictator in the butthole with a knife, and your hand gets poopy, and then you're like, "Hey, Greg, check this out. Let's shake hands, bro."
That's an incidental stink palm.
Yeah.
Is that like a revolutionary stink palm?
No. That's just you being a dick.
But you stabbed a guy in the asshole. Yeah, you're a dick, dude.
Well, let's just say he deserved it.
I don't think, you know what? No, I'm not even going to go there. No, yeah. Gaddafi was a bad guy.
Gaddafi! And then you stab him in the butthole.
Stabbing somebody in the butthole is just the worst. That's what Vlad the Impaler did.
Yep.
Speaking of Vlad, dragons!
Dragons!
Yeah, let's talk about some dragons.
Let's steer this back on a track here. Dragon movie from 2006, I believe.
It's got a sweet cover.
No, it doesn't. Based off the popular preteen book series of the same name, I believe.
That was written by a teenager.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so this book was finished before he was 20.
Okay, so written and delivered by the people who want to read it.
Give homages to Star Wars.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll get into that.
Okay.
What do you got about Eragon?
Well, it was written by a teenager, but it caught fire. People love it. The fans of dragons love this.
I see no reason why a teenager couldn't write a good book. I don't. Go for shit, kids.
Yeah. They put $100 million behind it.
The movie.
Yes.
That's a lot.
And then in order to shepherd this $100 million ship, they brought on a visual effects supervisor, Stephen Fangmeyer, for his first directorial effort.
Who is from what other special effects opportunity?
He's been a visual effects supervisor for a very long time. He's got a laundry list of that credit.
Stephen Fangmeyer from visual effects films such as Jurassic Park and Master and Commander. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Sure.
So, big guy.
But Jurassic Park 3 might be the key word here because the writer was the writer of Jurassic Park 3. So this is a Jurassic Park 3 team that they put in charge of this one for $100 million.
With starring William H. Macy as Eragon. I think that was a great cast.
Yeah.
Wait, who was Eragon?
William H. Macy, the teenage boy.
Starring William H. Macy as not Bob Odenkirk.
That's how deep William H. Macy's talent is he can play anything, including a 17-year-old boy.
He was actually he was the dragon.
Yeah, everything.
He was Jeremy Irons. He wasn't
He
John
was
Malkovich.
actually Jeremy Irons throughout his career. Jeremy Irons doesn't even exist. He's just William H. Macy.
He didn't do Malkovich, though. Malkovich did himself because he sucked. He sucked too bad to be played by William H. Macy, who's a fine actor.
Right.
Yeah, when we get to the start of this movie, I got a rude comment about that man.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, it returned 75 domestically against that.
That's not terrible.
And then 249 worldwide.
This has a 16 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is bad.
Very bad.
So it's a $25 million loss on a 16% movie. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I could even compare that to is like the Transformers. They're all shit and they make an assload of cash, right?
So
Yeah.
do you think that
This
it
is-
made all of the cash? Because, and I'm asking Sam, not you.
Well, it didn't make all the cash.
didn't
It
make
lost
any.
So,
25 million.
do you think though that the initial cash run on this thing was like all of the fans from the book, and they
Oh.
dress up like their favorite dragon, like the Star Wars weirdos
The
do,
cosplayers, yeah.
and
The guy that wrote the book.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they dress up like their favorite dragon, and then they come to the theater at midnight for the special showing,
Yeah.
right?
And they're like, oh,
Yeah,
And they told everybody on the internet that didn't go, don't go to that.
don't do it.
but by then it's already too late because all the fanboys have already gone.
And dragons costumes, it's really hard to dress like a dragon unless you go really big. So, like, all the dragons are sitting in the front row. Like, you have to wear those comedy dinosaur costumes that are readily available, and then nobody behind you can see. So those people had to go back to actually watch the movie. So the dragons weren't in front of them, and they had to suffer through it twice. Poor bastards.
Duh.
We should pour out a beer for them.
This was my initial thought. I'm just asking.
Right.
Was there anything like that? Do you know?
Do I know if there was like people in tents dressed as dragons waiting to see this? I highly doubt it.
I think that there was, I bet.
There wasn't.
Man, this thing was a popular book series. Because if you think about it, the Harry Potter's obviously the model. But even the stuff below Harry Potter, the Divergent and the fucking Maze Runner and the Hunger
Sure.
Games and all of them. I see people lining up on those dressed up as the characters. So I don't see why this wouldn't have in 2006. I bet you there were.
Maybe there was like
And
at the Chinese or something like that.
they went home and rethought their life afterwards.
They were. It was like the exit of the first showing of this film was the longest line of sad dragons that you've ever seen in
Yes.
your life.
Yes, they were crying giant dragon tears.
Scaly dragon tears.
Yep, indeed. Anything else, Amy?
That's really basically the story to this
Yeah.
this flopper.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. Jackie and I saw this when it came out. We didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, we were discussing this. You were like, "This wasn't that bad," and then when Jack picked it, I was like, "I remember that not being not that bad."
It's okay.
And as we're watching it, I'm like, "I don't remember any of this, and this is terrible."
This is crap.
And by the end of it, I realized that what had happened is I fell asleep and then woke up like right at the end. And was like, "Oh, some dragons flying around and shit. That's kind of cool." I was like, "Oh, that's all right." But I actually didn't watch this movie. I slept through it the first time.
Yeah, okay.
So the first time I watched it, I might have been slightly intoxicated.
Nah, I'm wondering that too.
Yeah, because I'm with Sam. Like I was watching it, and I'm like, I don't remember that happening. Like, oh, okay, well, yeah, this was a great. I was kind of excited actually.
Yeah, this movie's not that bad. It's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, and then I was sitting there going, oh God, alcohol really does fuck with your perceptions.
Oh, you know what the problem was, Jackie, is you drank so much that you had to go fight the double dragon. And the double-headed dragon? God damn it, I screwed up my own joke. But
Yeah,
anyways,
dude, it's the double dragons.
you mixed
dude.
up the double dragon with this movie because you were so drunk.
Yeah, the pieces of vomit were fighting,
So I
stick
think
fighting in the trash can.
if you had a bathroom TV, you could give it. If you were watching this while spraying vomit and poop, it would be a triple dragon.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what if you were also on H for like the 5th time and so you're chasing the dragon?
Well, I thought that sort of stoves you up and you don't poop a lot if you get.
I imagine if you take enough heroin, you're going to shit your brains out.
Not to
know,
mention,
it
I
goes
thought
the
that you
other
just
way.
fell asleep on heroin.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it really.
Well, you can puke and then die, right? So why not shit your pants and not die?
Shit your pants and not die. That's good sound life
Is
philosophy.
it possible to shit your pants so much that you die from it?
These are deep scientific questions that are just above my pay
I
grade.
mean, Joplin died from choking on her own vom, right? That's not uncommon. I could see somebody like Rob Schneider dying from
Rob
shitting
Schneider
his
shit himself to death. Huh?
pants. He went out on top.
Of the toilet. Don
Hey,
Simpson. Don
Elvis
Simpson.
Presley.
Yeah, yeah. Don Simpson.
Yep, they didn't shit their pants, but they shit the toilet too much.
Yeah.
Shit their hearts out. Are you guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Eragon. Before we get going, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. We know nothing about the book series.
Nothing.
None of us have read it. None of us have even looked anything up about it, even how many books there are, and fans' reactions to, oh, that didn't happen in the book, and the book is better than the movie. Of course, all that. We're not going to get into that at all. This movie's entire purpose was to, A, make a sequel, which it didn't do.
Sure.
And drive people to, hey, I'm going to go read the book series now because the movie was so awesome. It didn't do that either. And so we're never going to read those books. Sorry. So whatever happens in this film, we don't really care about the book series. So I'm going to do my best to decipher what's going on here.
Yeah.
Well, I will interject that my dad did read all of these books. And as a local expert on the Eragon series, he was like, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, all right. All right.
He fell asleep through 3/4 of the movie. He was like, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. So I believe the world that they live in is called Aliashia.
I don't know.
But it's ruled by men on dragons in the before time. The dragon riders were like cool guys because they were chosen by dragons, or the peoples chose the men to ride the dragons, and so somebody was like, well, we should put them in charge. They're on dragons. They're clearly qualified to run the entire world.
The people's dragons?
The people's dragons.
Or the dragons are the people's elbow?
Right.
So the dragons pick the rider.
Sort of?
No, that's what
But that's
they
not
say.
what happens in the movie.
That's what they say, is that
Okay.
they wait in their eggs until the rider appears to them, and they can wait for millions of years. But when they know that their rider is near, then they will hatch.
So within 15 minutes of the film telling you that, it contradicts itself. Cool. Right on, guys. But either way, there's like everything's great with this system. Like, the peasants are happy and whatever. We're told that.
It doesn't seem like that.
But we're told that.
We we get Jeremy Irons softly saying, in the times before, there were dragons and dragon riders. And
Right.
one dragon rider killed the other dragon riders. And all you see is a bunch of fucking dragons spraying fire at each other. So all I know of the time before is it's fucking crazy and there's dragons killing each other everywhere.
Right. This one guy is like, well, I've got a dragon too, and my dragon's cooler than your guys' dragon, so I'm going to fuck up shit and take over the planet.
Yeah.
And that guy, I believe, is John Malkovich.
I think that's where it's going, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought anyway.
Because it's not real clear who is what.
It's difficult because the names are so hard to, like, the invented words are very odd.
Makalakabashak.
Yeah, they're like you just went zibbidi-bop-boo-jong.
Right.
Well, it's
That's
like
the
he
name.
took girls' names that he liked from his school
Ooh.
and then just kind of added a few extra
Put some
syllables.
bullshit, or maybe like a
Like,
mashup.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that the land, what did you say it was again?
Aliashia
Alicia
and
from the
or
7th
Ali
period.
and Shia.
Allie and
Alicia.
Sheila.
Right. I don't know.
Allie and Sheila,
Who knows?
they were twins.
Right. And Malka Kaka Bakalaka was
Michaela
Michaela
Bachman.
Bachman.
Malkalaka Bakataka is what John Malkovich should have been renamed for his performance in this. Because there's a lot of things wrong with this movie, and he's the worst.
All right, so I'm 3 sentences into this thing, and this is where we're going to get into the whole. We're now exposing what our podcast is about to be, because my note is some Darth Vader guy betrays and murders Anakin.
Yeah.
That's my third note, and we're maybe 40 seconds into this movie, and I already know it's Star Wars.
So my first note was John Malkovich looks like a very grumpy child who is totally being obstinate because somebody else ate the last cookie.
He's King Footstompy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got poopy face.
He has poopy face. He's not being angry. He's not being intimidating. He's standing, and he's got the music video beatdown cam, and he's holding a sword and wearing a bathrobe, and he's just poopy.
He's just tucking in his lips and making that tight line like,
You know who he is? He's that goddamn Tom Brady.
He's the goddamn Tom Brady. when they're not winning.
Right.
He's gonna start crying. Are you gonna cry?
Yeah, you're gonna cry, King. King
Swear-
cry, baby.
This is going to be odd because we're going to mention Tom Brady again later.
Oh, God, no. All right, so he's now king, I guess. The same guy that betrayed and murdered Anakin is now king, which I really am... I think he might actually be Darth Vader. So he's got a rock. He calls it a rock. The stone. My magic stone. And some lady has stolen it and is now riding through the forests.
Yeah.
Escaping with the magic stone. We don't even know if he ever used the magic stone or if it was like on just a decorative display case. Like what? But he misses it. We come back to Malkovich going, "Find my magic stone. I miss it." Like, who wrote this piece of shit?
Well, and I'm gonna say right now, the emperor, or no, he's not the emperor.
He's the king,
the wizard.
Oh, the Grand Vizier, maybe.
Yeah, the wizard guy.
Yeah,
who is also in Once Upon a Time as
he's Robert Carlyle. He's a bigger deal than Once Upon a Time, Jackie.
Yeah, you can leave the full Monty.
Right?
Oh yeah,
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh yeah,
no,
he's not in Reservoir
anyway,
Dogs.
This has got to be the fanciest demon wizard I have ever seen in my life. Because demons obviously like jewels and sparkle. Because his outfit sparkles, and it's like even in the fabric on his arms, where there's not necessarily an actual gemstone on his outfit, it's sparkling. It's like they sprayed him with glitter.
He's like if Grima Wormtongue went and took a vacation on Manhattan for a week and a half.
I would say that he's like from the neck, from shoulders down, he's a rhinestone cowgirl.
Ooh.
His face is just sort of icky. But then he has like J-pop red hair.
But it's like an old lady who wears too much makeup trying to make her skin look porcelain smooth, and then goes to the beauty parlor and says, "I need a fresh look. Let's make me a redhead." And you're like, dude, you
Forever
are
21, old lady.
Yeah, you are 70 years old. Give it up.
That's what it is. And then the face is he's just got Botox everywhere.
Right.
He just got back from his Botox.
Failed Botox surgery. Like, I missed where I was going to put the mark. Let me start over. Let me inject you over here instead. Oh, no, I missed. Let me start over.
It doesn't matter if they do a good job or not. The day you come back, I've seen it and I was like, whoa. Holy God.
Is it that bad?
They put fucking botulism on your face. Is it that bad? A thimble of botulism can apparently kill an entire community, and they're putting it on your face.
Well, if it takes off 5 years.
It doesn't.
All right, so this whoever she is, we later find out she's a princess, but her relevance to the king and getting the magic stone and any of that, is she even in charge of anything, or is she just like, I stole the magic stone because he's mean, and also later I'm a princess? I don't know. Either way, she gets the Grand Vizier dude. We don't know his name. What do we want to call him for the rest of the movie? Because he's the main villain.
Robert Carlyle.
They call him the Shade in the movie.
Okay.
Oh, the Shade.
Yeah.
I was just gonna call him Robert Carlyle.
I got Grima Wormtongue written all over my notes. He's also reminds me of Loki to a degree, but Loki came after this by about 2 years. And Loki's much cooler. So he gets her dudes, like her entourage, with some arrows and gonna get you, lady. And meanwhile, Caleb, the lead character, Caleb, because that's what this kid is. He's not an Eragon. He's a Caleb. Yeah, that's what he looks like. He comes trotting out, "Hey, I'm 17. I'm going to the prom next week. Woo-hoo, I'm Caleb." He doesn't need a majestic name like Eragon. Like, I mean, also Aragorn. Really? Come on.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So he's out hunting, being a teenage boy. Everything is right in the world, and he just happens to be doing this right next to a wizard's battle.
No.
Okay.
He's like in a different area altogether.
How?
Because of magic.
Yeah, because she holds up the stone when she's encircled by fire, and she says, Algazoo Marie, and it disappears.
Yeah, she teleports it to him.
Warpity band, Baloo, Baloo, and then Willow, the baby's gone.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But she does it for real, even though it was just a trick with Willow, that crafty little bastard.
He stole the baby.
I stole the baby from a daikini while he was taking a pee-pee. That's a great movie.
And people
we should have
don't like
watched
that
that
movie.
instead.
Yeah, it's just, Willow is just fantastic. I don't give a fuck. Willow's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But either way, she teleports the magic stone to Eragon.
It's a jelly bean.
It's a
giant jelly bean. She holds it up in the air and is like, Shazam, prestidigitation. And then
Hocus Pocus.
This deer that he's about to shoot explodes, and it's now the jelly bean.
Right.
And you're like, what?
So did she blow up the deer,
Yeah.
or did they swap places?
That's what doesn't make any sense. No, because the deer isn't there because Robert Carlyle catches her. So you see that again.
Oh, yeah.
So she just blows the deer up.
She exploded a deer.
No, the deer is standing off to the side.
Oh, it blows up.
No, I saw him.
Wait, no, it blew up.
It seemed like white light exploded pretty hard when that jelly bean teleported. And I assume the magic of teleportation magic has some sort of energy dispersion. Otherwise, it doesn't make scientific sense.
It's enough to pop a deer into some steam.
It exploded that deer, vaporized a goddamn deer.
They had to actually tone it down for the PG rating, but the first cut, he's just like covered in part of a deer, like, whoa, that jelly bean just fucked that deer up.
Did it fall from the sky? Is it a Boeing bomb? What is this thing? Because it looks stupid.
It looks like a jelly belly.
It looks like a jelly belly. It's brightly. It's not it's solid colored. It doesn't have like magical properties where there's like swirling happening. Like you look inside the eye of Mordor or something like that. It's just blue like a jelly bean.
It's a big jelly bean.
There's nothing else that looks like that other than a jelly bean.
Yes.
That's a bad prop.
Bad idea.
I mean, I've seen Dragonades. Dragonades?
Dragonades?
I don't think
Don't eat now.
Yeah.
Only you can stop Dragonades.
Don't eat now?
Donate.
Oh, don't.
Sarah
There should be
McLachlan
weird
loves the dragon.
fasting for Dragonades, huh?
I've seen dragon eggs in the Game of Thrones.
Sure.
And they look pretty fucking serious. I wouldn't want to give birth to one of them, but if I was a fucking dragon and I had a fucking butthole that was made of dragon scales, it probably doesn't really fucking matter. I imagine dragon birth to be fairly painless, because they're dragons, right? Or maybe it's even more painful because they're dragons. What's the deal with dragon birth, guys?
What's the deal with dragon birth?
Yeah.
It's probably like a chicken.
Okay.
So pops them out.
Poops it out.
Is it no big deal? No big deal.
Probably
that give
not a
birth
big
to
deal.
Okay.
Probably takes bigger poops than that after a village raid.
Right.
Yeah, you eat a donkey, you're going to have a huge dragon shit.
Yeah. True. Okay.
Especially if the saddle's still on.
I think one of the problems is with this, whoever made this prop was like, we can't have it look like an egg. No, you have to have it look like an egg, stupid.
It has to.
You can think of all the dragon eggs in cartoons, movies, books, pictures, anything you've ever seen. They all look like an egg first.
Correct.
And then a little something extra later, not, here's a jelly bean.
And even if they were to do that, your problem with that scenario, and they try to do that, because they don't call it an egg. They disguise it as a magic stone.
It doesn't look like that either.
It's his fucking pet rock is what we're being told that this thing fucking is. And which is fine. Maybe you could like have this whole thing about, oh, well, if they get the magic stone, then the chosen one will become. But within fucking 10 minutes of this goddamn movie starting, it's no longer a goddamn magic stone. It's a fucking dragon egg. Make it look like a goddamn dragon egg because you're not spoiled. There's no surprise. Oh, it's a dragon egg. Well,
I
okay,
would
great.
Be more understanding to the plight of the king had it actually been a giant jelly bean.
Ooh.
Because, I mean,
That's
really,
his. I mean,
you've never seen a jelly bean that big,
Right,
right?
right.
Who would have something like
And
that?
it was
the king.
It was a gift from the ambassador of
Of Jellybelia.
His name was Ronald Reagan.
His name was King Oompa
It's
Loompa.
Ronald Reagan. I'd like you to have this jelly bean.
I'd like to keep it myself too, though.
Yeah.
I've got one at home.
The blue ones are pretty good.
Also, Nancy is great at sucking dick. She was, guys. I mean, let's, hell of a first lady, but good at blowjobs too.
How do you know that?
That's
Because
the Hollywood story.
that's
is
the
that
Hollywood
that's
story.
What she used to do.
Yeah, she was the fluffer for the industry.
Oh.
She probably wasn't.
Who
I mean,
knows?
in post hindsight of Harvey Weinstein's world, let's go back and just assume that she wasn't a willing, participant of those said blowjobs. But either way, if she was willing or unwilling, I still heard she get great blowjobs. So, props to Nancy Reagan
Yeah.
for that.
Some people think she's like Queen Elizabeth, so yeah.
So,
Not Queen Elizabeth. I would say Princess Diana.
so
Do you think Princess Diana gave good blowjobs?
it doesn't matter.
Probably
You could
not.
be.
Probably not. She was way too.
How is that
stuffy.
a negative? Like, oh, that's you shouldn't be saying that. That's not a negative. That's
I
a
didn't
good
say
thing.
that. I was just. Yeah.
That's why she went on all those diplomatic trips.
That's going too far. That's not cool, dude.
Shut up. If I gave awesome blowjobs and I could save the world, I totally would do it. I'd be like, well, I guess I got to take one for the team.
Well, I guess you're going to have to save the world a different way, Jackie.
Yeah. Kim Jong.
You son of a bitch.
Took you a while.
That's it.
We're halfway through the podcast, and we just can't be bothered to talk about Eragon because it sucks so bad.
All right, so in town, there's like conscripting happening. There's a draft, right? The king, nobody wants to
It's
fight for
not
the
a
king, so
draft,
he's
it's
just pulling guys.
everybody.
It's conscription.
Yeah, conscription, but it's like 100%.
Yeah,
Once you're old enough, you're in the army.
yeah.
At the same time, it seems like they've kind of told us that the king's already won this epic battle, and there's not really.
Right.
So there's just like an army and then town folk, and that's it.
I guess that's how you stop like a rebellion, a revolution. You just have everybody on your side.
Everybody's in the army.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so Caleb shows up and he tries to sell the magic bean, and the guy's like, "Fuck no, dude, that's dumb." Anyways, it's the king's, so you need to get it out of here. Take that back to the king, because I guess the king's been out talking to everybody about his magic stone.
They have magazines that they distribute through these
Team
guards.
Beat. Yeah, Team Beat.
Yeah. And they're like, this week we're featuring the blue gemstone, jelly bean
right.
awesomeness.
Malkovich is holding it while making a poopy face, but deep inside, he's really happy.
That's right.
The problem is you get the giant jelly bean, and you're like, well, I can't actually eat it, but I really want to. So that's why his face is so
Then
poopy.
if I ate it, I wouldn't have a huge
Yeah.
jelly bean anymore.
You can't have your magic giant jelly bean and eat it too.
Exactly. Let them eat jelly beans, said Marie. Yeah, that lady.
Don't lose your head over
So
it.
he's rejected, and he goes and he bumps into Jeremy Irons, who is he's Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
He's
he's
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan
He's the
Kenobi.
weird old wizard in town that has this history that he keeps secret, but not really, because it seems like if you ask him about it, he's like pretty open to discussion on who he is.
The only thing he was missing was being the town drunk.
He was the town drunk.
Right.
He's super drunk in 2 of the scenes.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Well, he didn't do a very good drunk. I couldn't tell. Moving on.
Okay. Eragon goes home, meets his brother. They roughhouse a bit, too hard, break some things, but whatever. His brother's like, "Hey, dude, I don't want to be the king's guy, so I'm going to dodge that draft. I'm headed to Peru. It's nice knowing you. I'm not going to be in the film anymore."
I don't know why I'm in the film to begin with.
Oh, I
See
know
ya.
why he's in the film. Because he's going to be in the sequel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, that they were setting it up for him to come back.
Yeah, I bet you he comes back as like a bad guy.
He's probably the new Shade.
Or he shows up right in the... Maybe he's Han Solo. Maybe in book or movie 2, like right as Aragon's about to blow up the Death Star, Malkovich flies in on his dragon and comes from behind, starts shooting lasers at him, and then his brother flies in on another dragon and is like,
Let's blow this thing so we can get out of here, kid.
"That's right." That's maybe he's Han Solo. Because
Or maybe he's the new Shade. That's what I think.
I don't think he's evil. I don't think he's a bad guy, because if he was a bad guy, he would have gotten to the draft. He would have been like, I don't want to, but I got to do my duty. And then like he would have gotten indoctrinated or something. But he just fucks off to a different place.
Or they capture him and then they put the demons in him.
I think he's Han Solo. I'm sticking with that.
Hmm.
Anyways, he's not in the movie anymore. That's cool. That night, I assume, the magic jelly bean cracks and a little fucking Galgameth shows up.
It's supposed to be cute.
It's a cutie. It's so cute.
Like, oh, dragon's dumb looking.
Why does the dragon have to even? It's a baby. I get it. Babies are cute. Whatever. Baby alligators are not cute.
They're just baby alligators.
They're tiny alligators. The dragons in Game of Thrones, when they were babies, not cute. They were fucking dragons. Why does it have to be cute? Why can't it be badass when it's a baby?
Why did it have to have such weird big eyes?
Because that makes it cute, Jackie.
No, it doesn't. Made it look stupid.
No, that's what the fucking art director's telling you.
No,
It's
he looked
cute.
dumb.
You're already attached to this dragon because it's a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It's so cute that it turns around and eats a rat.
Yeah, it just looks like Gilgameth to me. Galgameth.
Except it's blue instead of made of poo.
Right. That's
Yep.
Because Galgameth ultimately is a giant monster bud made of poo.
correct. So they bond. They're pals instantly. He's like a little, she is like a little puppy dog. They bounce around and play and have fun and great. And time goes on. I don't even know how much fucking time goes on.
It doesn't. That's, I think, another, like, wow, this is really doing a bad job with so many things right up front. Like, you were saying earlier, like, the girl's trying to get away, and so some of them get shot by arrows.
Uh-huh.
Some of them just get killed by weird sound effects.
Right.
And then at this point, you're like, no time is passing anywhere, except for with this dragon.
Right.
It just, like, is growing into a dragon over the course of hours.
Seems that way because it grows off scene.
Yeah.
Between scenes. And when we come back, like, so there's these guys, everybody in town starts having visions of the dragon being born after it's clear that it has grown in size. So, like, in two different scenes in sequence, you're thinking that weeks have gone by. But then Jeremy Irons opens his eyes and he's like, a dragon's been born. And then Greenman Wormton's like, hey, I got a vision of a dragon being born. Better tell the king. And the king can't get dragon vision? He's also... Why?
Well, I think he says, I'm not interested.
Of dragons.
I don't know.
That your jelly bean
I
wasn't
wrote down
actually a
this
jelly
note.
bean. It was a dragon egg.
Malco is not interested.
Yeah.
Because he says, he's like, I am not interested. And then you're on to a new scene. So I guess he doesn't get dragon vision.
I guess not. That's just dumb. If freaking
should
Jeremy
have-
Irons gets it,
Yeah.
then he should get it.
Why doesn't he have dragon?
I don't know.
Because what's his face? The Robert Carlyle doesn't even have a dragon.
Right.
Why does he have dragon vision?
He doesn't. That's dumb. It's dumb. So Malkovich is like, fine. I don't want to be challenged. Kill the boy.
And he pauses more than usual. It's awful. We can't do it because it's called dead air.
Uh-huh.
His pauses are like 8 seconds long sometimes.
It's worse than Shatner by far.
It's horrendous.
Yeah.
He's maximizing screen
You
time.
might say it's horrendous.
Horrendous. You know, I'd call that horrendous.
All right, so Robert Carlyle goes outside and he's like, fine, let's arise, dirt worm dudes.
Worm orcs?
Worm goblin, dirt
Worm goblins.
orcs.
They also look like they had some aspects of a mummy.
Yeah, they wearing mummy clothes.
They're crappy monsters.
They are really not cool. They've got they're worm goop guys. Goop
Yeah.
dirt dudes that live on. Did he create them, or are they just hanging out?
Yeah, I don't. Unclear.
Because he just like waves his hands and they jump out of the ground.
And then they're like, ooh, we're going to go get some broad. They look stupid. They act stupid. They move stupidly. And then beyond being unclear what they actually are, they just don't seem menacing at all. And They have knife arm.
They do.
Not like sword arm, knife arm.
arm. Mhm.
Oh, yeah. These are the greatest assassins that you could get out of the ground on Tuesday if you're standing in the wrong spot, I guess.
Yeah, right. So in town, Jeremy Irons is like, shit's pretty stupid. Dragons are cool, and the dragon guys are gonna come back again.
No, Jeremy Irons turns to the camera and says, I no longer regret Die Hard 3.
Die Hard 3 is a much better movie.
Yes.
It's not a good movie. And so Eragon's like, hey, you seem to know a lot about dragons and stuff, man. Like, what's your deal, dude? I would assume that he already knows all about him because Jeremy Irons has just been living in town as the town drunk who seems like he's pretty willing and able and ready to talk about dragons at any
All
point
the time.
in fucking time.
It's like, he even says, don't mind me. And then starts telling a story
About dragons.
about dragons.
And riding them.
And then everybody's like, you just told us not to listen to you. Why are you telling a story?
Correct. So, Eragon goes out and plays with Galgameth again. And Galgameth is like, check this shit out. And flies up into the sky and explodes into size.
Yeah, it was like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to fly today. And as soon as the dragon takes flight, he goes through some clouds, some very bright sun in the background. And each time he passes a different cloud, he
It seems
grows.
like the cloud explodes around him too. Or her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like clouds, like there's a Tesla coil inside each cloud that zaps the dragon, and electricity is the key to its growth. It's like dragon growth serum.
I have no idea.
It's really unclear what the deal is with.
I think it's the power of bullshit.
Well, obviously.
It's just like, boom, dragon. You're like,
Poof.
oh, okay, so
Well, how boring would the story be if the dragon didn't grow up super fast?
You could do like a fucking time delay. You could do a montage.
Luke
you
does-
could fade to black. Anything.
Luke's not a Jedi until the third movie.
That's right, dude. It's just boom, dragon.
Yep.
That's going to be the stupidest first movie ever.
Jackie, this is the stupidest first movie ever.
All right, well, I stand corrected then.
Yeah,
Never
I
mind.
mean, you watched it, right? So it flies down. It's a lady dragon with a sexy voice. Who did the voice? Anybody?
Oh, I didn't look that up. That's too bad.
Yeah, I don't really care,
I
but
don't
it's
care.
an odd cast. Like, it's like,
I thought it was ScarJo.
no, dude.
Oh.
I don't think Scarlett Johansson was even a thing in 2006. It's like Kate Blanchett did. Like, it's not the right voice to me. It should be like a motherly voice.
I guess at this point we can just start talking about the dragon in general. Like, I don't care
well, the
whose
rest of
voice
the
it
movie,
is.
we just want to talk about the dragon, right?
Now, the dragon's full size, and it's now the dragon that you're going to be seeing
Uh-huh,
from the movie.
right? Oh, it has telepathy. That's how
Yeah,
it
and it
talks.
has telepathy. And so what you get now is this package that is a blue griffin
Mhm.
that has a lady's voice,
Mhm.
and you're like,
It doesn't talk. It doesn't use its mouth at any point. It only communicates telepathically.
to only...
So
the-
it's got a sexy woman's inner monologue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not a dragon, it's a blue griffin.
It's a blue griffin.
It had
So-
feathers.
It's got feathers.
It's got feathers.
Uh-huh. Doesn't have scales. It's got feathers on its wings.
Yeah. It poses like griffins 3 or 4 times during the movie.
Does indeed.
So you're like, oh, cool. The dragon movie doesn't have any dragons in it.
Correct.
This dragon looks stupid.
It's dumb. It sucks.
And it's got a weird square head.
Uh-huh.
And like it doesn't have like, the top of the head above the eyes where it starts to, round out and
Yeah.
go back down to its neck.
Uh-huh.
It's like square flat top head.
Uh-huh.
It's like half, its head is like half dinosaur, half dog.
I know one thing about dragons. They should be badass.
Dragons should be, why do people like dragons? Because they don't like dragons for stupid ones. They like the badass, or like when you see her, like, whoa, that dragon's badass.
Like Schmog.
Yeah, Smaug.
Smaug is badass.
And all of Daenerys's dragons. They're badass. Even those Reign of Fire dragons are badass. It's just everybody who's a human in that movie is stupid. but like, remember that Dragonheart movie?
Yeah.
That was a kid's movie. That dragon looked pretty badass. Fucking, what's her nuts? Maleficent, when she turns into a dragon?
Yeah.
She's badass. Like, I mean, it's not a new concept to have badass dragons. It's a dumb concept to have not badass dragons.
Well, it looks like this dragon might have been dropped on its head.
The only time it's permissible is if you are puffing the magic dragon, and that's what that is about, where you're like, hey, I've got a friendly dragon on me next to me because I'm fucking high on drugs.
Even Puff looks better.
Yeah.
Just as a dragon because he's dragonly.
Right.
One of the things that makes a dragon dragonly is scales and not feathers.
True. Yeah.
Why? Because they breathe fire.
Uh-huh.
So they have to be kind of fireproof.
My wings are on fire from me.
From me.
That Pete's dragon was retarded looking too.
Yeah, Pete's dragon is pretty dumb. I think that's Puff the Magic Dragon, isn't it? Same thing.
I don't remember now.
Either way, let's move on with the plot here. The plot. So that night, maybe, he visits Jeremy Irons and he's like, he wants him to be Obi-Wan. He's like, hey, dude, I got the dragon and stuff. What's up? Let's do some adventuring. And Obi-Wan's like, I'm drunk. Go home. So the kid goes home. He sees a dirt goblin spring into an innkeeper and is like, tell us where this Eragon kid is. He's like, he lives on Elmbrook. And then the kid's like, fuck this shit. I'm out, bitches.
Yeah. But then doesn't the dragon grab him?
Yeah, he's running home. The dragon comes up and grabs him.
And it's daytime again now.
Yeah, it's daytime again. That's good work.
I can't ever tell time passage in this movie at any point. It's impossible.
It is really, really impossible. He's like, stop it. I need to go home and check on my Uncle Ben and Aunt Peru, who, Uncle Ben is a smoldering ash pile of human corpse. He's not, but he's the same guy. This Uncle Ben of the farm boy who gets murdered by stormtroopers. Like, now it's not even trying not to be Star Wars.
No, all they did to change it was they made Aunt Beru a footstool.
Right.
But Uncle Owen is still the same guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're like, I loved that footstool. And then, Jeremy Irons is like, oh, funeral fit for a king. And he burns the shit down. Because they're like, we have to start the movie, finally.
Sort of. Maybe. I don't know. He's like, you got to get out of here, kid. And I want to be sad for my Uncle Ben.
He has to get revenge, and he's going to kill these guys. But the only way that he can do that, and he's been told, is that he has to partner with his dragon and become a dragon rider. He's like, oh, the dragon's the one that screwed us up, so I'm going to go fight him with a stick or something. He behaves so irrationally. Like, even if you're a really dumb kid, you're like holding a stick and looking at it going, am I going to kill some dirt monsters with this or with that fucking dragon over there?
Yeah, I could try one or the other. That's
a
toss up.
They're both weapons, but one of them is clearly better than the other.
6.5 in one,
6.5 in one, 6.5 in the other.
All right, so he's like, fine, whatever, let's get out of here. And they ride off to someplace together. And they take a break after riding for a while. Apparently it's been a long time because Eragon's pretty tired from riding on a horse, not a dragon, mind you.
Yeah.
And Obi Irons is like, hey, I should let you know that in this movie there's a rebel alliance. I'm sorry, what? God damn
there's
it,
a rebel
guys.
alliance.
Jesus Christ.
We should really address something that is super plot convenience. Jeremy Irons is going to get a dragon rider, and he brings an extra horse. He doesn't know that the kid's like, I don't want to ride the dragon. He's just guessing.
Right, I guess this kid's a little bitch. Why would you want to ride the dragon, you stupid little... Yeah.
Maybe he saw him in the air, and he was riding out there, and he's like, all right, I got to stop at Chuck's house and get an extra horse.
Yeah, this kid sucks.
Because this is not going to go well. This kid's going to die before I can get him to the Rebel Alliance.
But I believe in him. Ugh. And then he tells him that he has powers. That as a dragon rider, he can see things. He knows things via the dragon. Just like the Force.
This
Yeah.
is dragon vision.
He has the Force, Jackie.
Dragon vision.
When you become a dragon rider,
Yeah.
you get the ability to know that Alderaan has been exploded, say.
Yeah, oddly, The Force Awakens, she happens to sort of become a Jedi as fast as this guy becomes a dragon rider.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so Robert Carlyle is he stops by his blacksmith's office where they're making swords and stuff, and he's like, "Hey guys, how are the swords coming?" And the guy's like, "Pretty good, because I'm also grody barbarian guy that makes swords." And he's like, "Okay, well, I've got some issues with your performance lately. I sent some dirtmen out to kill a kid, and they failed, and it's your fault.
It's your fault now because you're standing here.
I'm making swords."
They come with their own knife arms. But for some reason, I'm going to get on your case. And my note for this was, hey, fuck you. See you later.
Right.
Because that's all he does. He just magically appears, yells at these guys, stabs one of them in the foot, and then poofs off.
Our boss sucks. Our boss is a real dick.
He's a really...
Project much, buddy?
Exactly. Our boss really hates it when I shorten his name to Dick. Especially because his name is Steve.
Do not park in his parking spot.
Yeah, don't park in Steve's
My
parking
God.
spot.
His horse hitching poster is... Yeah, I guess he doesn't even have. He just teleports, whatever. So they Luke and Obi-Wan make it to Mos Eisley, which is a
Town made of
swamp.
sticks.
It's like a stick building place on top of a swamp type thing. The end of it's like a lake port.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
With a bunch of fortune tellers in it.
Yeah.
One.
Well, that's one more than you need. Because Eragon goes inside and she's like, "I foresee danger in your future. And also there's a woman in this movie too. Just to remind everybody from earlier. She's important." And then the blacksmiths attack. I guess he is a good manager because you stab one of them in the foot and they'll not be blacksmiths anymore. They'll be attacky guys.
Yeah. You're like, okay, well, so I sent some dirt men that I found to go kill this guy and they couldn't do it. Seemed like it was a bad idea. So I'm going to find a group of people that are probably less capable.
Right, than dirt men.
Of this than people who are incapable.
Right.
And I'm going to send them out to go do it.
I, at no point, am going to ever have a conference call even with the dirt men and be like, "Hey, you guys need to do a better job." Once you unleash the dirt men, you can't do anything about it.
You're like, I got the dirt men on speaker. Hold on for a second. So, how's it coming with that kid? Yeah. I'm going to need you to do a little better. Pete's here listening. We're all rooting for you.
Pete, the blacksmith. Yeah. He's minus some toes now.
Yeah, I cut his toes off, and I'm going to send him in after you if you can't get the job done out there.
They don't get the job.
Don't sass me!
Yeah.
I said kill that fucking kid!
They don't get the job done because Eragon suddenly knows how to use flame arrows.
Lightning arrow.
Flaming.
Yeah. He just whips out a D&D spell without knowing how to do it.
And blows them all up. Explodes the town, I think.
It very clearly looks like he blows everyone in town up here.
Uh-huh.
But later, these guys are like, "Oh, we didn't get him." I'm like, you guys are blown up. Why are you still in the movie?
You got exploded.
If that's like a cushy lightning arrow, then that's dumb magic. Lightning arrow pillow.
It's the Snuggie arrow.
The Snuggie arrow. The lightning arrow of comfort.
Well, it makes him pass out because he's not able to use the Force fully, I guess.
He's not matured.
Yeah, so he needs to takes some time to learn magic, the Force or magic. I'm not really sure. But that also means it's time to learn to ride your dragon. So get on that fucking thing and have a good time, which dragon riding really isn't dragging riding. It's more dragging holding on.
Yeah.
It's a dragon. Why do you need to ride it and be in charge? Can't you? Or control it like it's a fucking horse? Can't you just be like, we need to kick those guys' ass, fly over there and let's burninate them? And then the dragon just flies to where it needs to go on its own.
Yeah.
You don't need to steer a dragon.
No, the dragon seems pretty smart.
Right.
He seems like an idiot.
He seems like a dumb shit who can't even ride a dragon. And then there's this weird sequence here where she's like, do this thing. And he's like, turns around and is like, the film is saying, oh, at some point he's going to walk on the dragon's back to get to its tail.
He's going to jump from the saddle to the tail.
Why would you do that?
I guess if you're going to copy Star Wars, you should copy the ski movie Hot Dog as well.
Oh my God.
Those always go hand in
Yeah,
hand.
you know, it's like a sandwich with both pickles and tomatoes.
Oh, boy. Okay. So now he can ride the dragon. He learns dragon vision, which is just like a sepia filter for the most part, but then you get like heat vision for goblins.
It changes. What it is a bad visual effect that doesn't look good because his magic vision is less good than normal vision.
Correct.
Well, he can zoom in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zooming would be helpful,
Yeah.
I guess.
But it doesn't seem like it happens very often. I guess he can see through walls too later. But
Later.
Yeah. Meanwhile, during all this, Obi Irons is riding on the ground on a fucking horse, screaming nonsense at him. Like words of encouragement that would just get carried off into the wind.
Yeah,
There you go. Good job.
And yeah, they're trying to like talk to him and stuff. It's like, you guys are flying too fast.
He's
You're
like,
not having a conversation with him.
feel how she steers. Turn it to the right. Turn her to the left. I'm on a dragon. Can't hear you. You're on a horse 15 miles behind me, bub, already.
Yeah. And I guess it's a good time to mention that the dragon doesn't fly in a conventional sense by like flapping its wings.
Right.
It just sort of has a propulsion system of a jet fighter.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it has its wing. In many cases, it's got its wings closed, and it just like shoots places.
So it's like a what are those A-10 Warthogs?
Like a rocket.
Wings fold back and look sweet.
No, the A-10's the gun that has its plane attached to it. The F-14
Yeah.
is the one that has the folding
the
wings.
Tomcat. That was a badass jet. It is a jet.
It's a jet. It's not a dragon.
Yeah.
It's gas propelled.
Table that. We're gonna come back to Dragon Butt. Well, he spots the Dirtmen. They're attacking Jeremy Irons, I guess. Like, because he's up in the fucking sky. What are the Dirtmen gonna do to a fucking dragon? Also, she could just burninate him. But we're told later that she can't burninate anything because it's dumb. So just be like, Jeremy Irons, you're fucking good, bro. You got some Dirtmen to deal with.
They got knife arms. Watch out for that.
Yeah.
You've got a sword with some red paint on it.
And they shoot the dragon out of the sky.
No, he just crashes the fucker.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, he just crazy like, oh, let's go help, and then they crash.
That sucks.
It does. He sucks.
Why doesn't the dragon be like, I don't want to be steered like this. You're going to crash me. You can't ride a horse into a brick wall. I mean, you can tell the horse to go into a brick wall, and you're going to get pretty goddamn close. But a horse is not going to go into a brick wall.
No.
You can ride them off a cliff because they
No.
don't know what's on the other side, but not straight into a brick wall. You can't crash it. And this
But if you could.
this dragon is fucking sentient. I think it's like, you're dumb, kid.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up.
Plus, he doesn't even have reins for the dragon, so there's no point where he can actually even steer. He's only able to hold on.
Right. Maybe there's like another power that didn't get divulged. Like you have, because of the telepathy link, maybe you can mind control the dragon. Like you become one. It's like a fucking a mind meld.
So you're like, if you're the dragon on the end of that, you're like, what a dick. He's flying me right into this
this
fucking
is gonna suck.
tree.
This is gonna suck so bad.
Well, you know, each time you get a new rider,
Uh-huh.
usually you do get the complimentary gift basket for being chosen, which includes a thigh master, some hand grip, exercise tools. You know, those ones with the springs.
Yeah.
You also get some monkey butt.
Okay.
So, wait, what?
Monkey butt.
That comes in a gift bag, huh?
Yeah, it comes in a gift bag.
What is monkey butt?
It is a kind of like a stick of deodorant per se that you rub on your ass so that you don't get chapped.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Okay,
it's Gold
okay.
Bond.
Yeah, so kind of. It's like a deodorant stick for your legs and stuff. You also get a nice pair of riding gloves that have some traction control on them so you can really hold on to the saddle. And a nice card that says, if you would like to reorder this merchandise, please see Dragons R Us.
Kill your dragon.
No. You
Okay.
don't.
Why would you reorder it?
Well, the gloves are going to wear out before the dragon
Yeah,
does.
you only get so much monkey butt. I mean, it's a trial size. You know, like, they're not going to give you the full one. And I mean, you're probably going to have this dragon for at least 10 years. You're going to need more monkey butt.
All right, down on the ground, Jeremy Irons is having a dumb flame sword battle. It is so stupid.
He flies with his enemy
Yes.
into stabbins. I can't really describe it better than that. If you were to see it, you'd be like, oh, someone could describe it better than you just did. And then you'd watch it and you'd be like, he flew with his enemy into stabbins.
I can describe it better than you can in 2 words. Yui Bowl. This is exactly a Yui Bowl fight scene. Like, really? This is crap.
It's not good.
So elsewhere, Robert Carlyle uses some bullshit to talk through Princess Leia,
Yeah.
is who she is, to Eragon. He's like, through her, like, hey, check it out. I got a lady. She,
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
you're
my only hope.
Right. Or Darth Vader sending out the vibe to Luke, like, hey, your friends are in danger. Stop your Jedi training and come save them. And he fucking Eragon even says something very similar, like, I have to help them. And Jeremy Irons is like, no, you can't go. It's a trap. I have to go anyways. Your weapons, you will not need them. It's so
Obi Yoda Irons.
It's so bad. So he leaves Dagobah and goes out to save her from the clutches of Darth Vader. She's pretty easy to get to. It's clearly a trap. Like, she's like, wow, you're not even tied down?
She's laying on a table.
Right.
I think she's being kept there by magic.
Okay. She's pinned down. But she has magic of her own. What the hell?
She did at the beginning.
Well,
name another time when she starts. You're established like this lady's a mage of some sort.
Uh-huh.
At the beginning of the movie, she doesn't fucking use magic for the rest of the movie.
Right.
I'm going to assume it's because her hands have also been frozen in polycryptonite.
Polycryptonite.
That's like
it's
effort and forget it.
It's like plastic Superman Bane.
Huh.
Synthetic kryptonite.
Yeah.
Mass producible. Superman's done. All right. So Robert Carlyle's there and he's like, blah, blah, blah. And let's do some magic battle. And he's like, poof, you can't shoot me. And then he like grabs a spear and chucks it at the kid. And then Jeremy Irons has arrived out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Who only has a fucking horse.
He just, well, you don't even see his horse. He just like jumps into the sea.
But that's his only means of travel.
Absolutely.
Unless he like called Uber or something. Like he gets there pretty fucking quick compared to the guy on a goddamn dragon.
Yeah.
Well, how long has he been hanging out though before he actually went down there? I mean, he probably stopped and had some chicken.
Maybe.
At the local tavern.
Uh-huh.
And then was like, hey, I need to steal a cloak. So he does that from the drunk guy.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, all right, now I'm ready to sneak in.
I've
It's
given
been a-
Jeremy Iron times to catch up.
Yeah, it's been a couple hours
All right.
since he made it to town.
We did establish that in terms of riding the dragon, the kid is pretty shitty at it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He took a lot of left turns at Albuquerque.
He's got a lot of shortcuts that are actually a lot longer than what the word shortcut means.
Jeremy Irons is punctured in the chest, and Eragon does something to make Robert Carlyle fuck off. He shoots an arrow at him.
Yeah, he shoots him in the head with an arrow.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But you have to shoot him in the heart to kill him anyways. So they ride off with the help of Lando Calrissian, gives them an assist along the way. This guy
stinks.
I don't even know what this kid's deal is. He's like, he betrayed the Rebel Alliance at some point, but now he wants to make up for it because his mom was like forced to make, like, I don't know.
No, his dad is like Lothos the Betrayer.
Uh-huh.
So he's like guilty by association.
Okay. Yeah.
But he's like, I want to be a rebel even though my dad was the butt.
Right.
And he killed the last dragon rider.
Yeah. So it takes like Jeremy Irons like 15 minutes to die but it's not fun. It's just him giving advice, fatherly advice for 15 fucking goddamn minutes. And then he takes a nap on the back of Dragon.
His death sucks so bad. 'Cause
It's
you're like,
awful.
is he going to die yet? Is he going to die? And then you're like, you're expecting him to die in about the 5th shot.
Uh-huh.
And then on shot 16, he's riding the dragon, and you're like, what? And he just lays down and smiles and takes a nap.
And
Like,
then it cuts.
that's it, huh?
You don't even get the bad. He never even got the chance to
do
go.
it. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't let him, editor didn't let him die.
Right. It sucks. It's so disappointing that you like that opportunity is taken away from you because you knew his death was going to be terrible.
Terrible. You were like, I was watching with anticipation, hoping that somebody was going to finally do worse than Sir Ben Kingsley.
Right.
And we were robbed of that.
It was stolen from us. Damn you, movie. And then the dragon, whose name is like Sephora or something.
Sure.
I thought it was Varen.
Sepia.
No, that's the Rebel Alliance.
Oh,
Varden.
Varden, yeah.
Anyways.
I couldn't keep track
No.
of the names.
There was a lady in the town, I'm pretty sure her name was Dolly. Dolly Varden, like the trout, because that's a good joke.
That's the shittiest joke I've ever heard in my life.
AKA the bull trout for fishermen.
That's and
They're
you're making it
endangered.
worse. You're making it
Yeah,
worse.
it was-
Oh my god.
well, that's what I'm thinking about, like, because the Rebel Alliance is being built up as this thing. They're like, the Varden, and I'm like the trout? I bet they're badass.
The dragon flies down, and she's like, we must honor him in a way that will be awesome. So I can't breathe fire yet, just so you guys know. I'm too young.
Uh-huh.
But I can do this. And she encases him she turns the stones that he's buried in into diamond glass.
She does something. She's like, I can't blow fire yet, but I can do this thing that's 1,000 times hotter than fire.
It's the sun out of my mouth. Like the Human Torch can't do this shit.
No.
Mm.
This is hot business.
Your fire is shittier than your not fire, lady.
People make fireplaces out of rocks because fire doesn't turn rocks into glass.
Right. Good job, everybody. Good job.
Well, and at this point, I'm thinking they're gonna bring him back at some point.
No, he's
He's
Obi-Wan.
encased
Well,
in this crystallized form, right? That
Sure.
she says where he will not be ravished by time.
Well,
And so I'm thinking, so maybe spooky dragon shit like actually goes in, heals his ass. The sunlight comes through much like a greenhouse, with a little bit of rain and love.
keeps him warm in there. Some
He-
lovely petunias growing next to him.
yeah, he comes back. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Yay, the return of Jeremy Irons.
I would like it.
Sure.
I don't think he would.
No.
Meanwhile, Lando has been following them. He's like, hey, guys, sup? I'm actually kind of cool. I helped that one time, so let's team up.
Yeah.
And like, fine, whatever.
I'm a goth kid. I'm in the movie now.
Yeah.
All right.
He reminds me of what's her name from the Fifth Wave, or not the Fifth Wave. No, it was the Fifth Wave. God, I just like somebody needs to love me.
Yeah. You real make out with me. It's really sad.
Take over the government.
Is this the part where they cut back to Robert Carlyle being disappointed in the blacksmith for not killing him?
I don't know.
Because that happens at some point. It's so hard to keep track of time in the movie. At some point, like, he cuts back to Robert Carlyle is like, you didn't catch him. And they're like, we're blacksmith.
And you cut off 3 of my toes like yesterday.
I need a cane for the rest of my life now.
And so he makes a finger gun and kills one of them.
Oh yeah, that's
Finger banged to death.
Oh my god.
Yep. And then he looks at the other guy and he's like, you've been promoted. And the guy kind of looks like, no thanks.
Promoted to what? Blacksmith from blacksmith? But I'm not getting to do my job.
I have all of my toes, I guess. That's better than the last guy. Ugh.
Something tells me that anytime you're in that situation, stand in the back.
Stand in the back.
You don't, one, you got to be closest to the door just in case something happens, you can run.
Become as small as possible.
Yeah.
That's right. You don't want to be put in charge in that situation.
You just got, if you work at that place, You just got to be the guy that's doing something, even though it's not what you're supposed to be doing.
You just carry a box back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, what's that guy doing? Well, it's something.
He's carrying that thing over there.
Yeah, it looks like he's carrying that thing over there. Whatever.
And then when the wizard
looks
comes,
busy.
you act like you're stupid, like you're below intelligence level,
Yeah,
so that
right.
that way he's like, we don't want that guy.
Don't pick me.
Get mad at yourself. Oh man, I just keep messing up the thing that I don't even know what it is because I don't even know what I'm doing here.
All right, so Eragon and Lando are they made it to some river place. I don't even know where they're going at this point. They're trying to get to
Dolly Varden Trout.
yeah, right, which is where they're out. At.
Dolly Parton, Trout.
Well, that's worse than his joke. Jason.
I don't know. Dolly Parton was like a trout, cartoon trout that was Dolly Parton. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. She could be a dragon.
No, she's a trout.
Oh yeah, trout dragon.
There's no such thing as a trout dragon.
Yes, there is. In my
A fish dragon would be dumber than the dragon in this shit.
fish dragon. He's ruling the underworld with his blowing his bubbles, pissing off other fish, ruining their habitats. He's like, oh yeah, you don't like me? Because, he can't breathe fire because it's underwater. So it'd just be like these giant waves of air coming at their like sticks of reeds or whatever. It's like, fuck you. They're like, Jesus, Dolly Drowning. You just ruined my habitat, you bastard. He's like, that's what you get, Frank. You moved my boat.
Anyways,
They should have hired her to write this movie instead of the guy from Jurassic Park 3.
all right, so they get captured by the Rebel Alliance, and Leia, who is injured from her mind meld, gets stuck in the back of the tank because she heals instantly.
She's just
she's
okay
on the,
now.
the death's bed when she arrives, and like next scene she's fine. Meanwhile, the Death Star is going to be in range within 10 minutes from the Rebel base because the blacksmiths have infiltrated it.
Yeah.
But nobody really seems to be too concerned.
So there's some guards outside of like their tunnel passage or something. And one of the blacksmith headbutts the guards and they go down and you're like, these guards are not good.
Good guys here.
He didn't even fight you with a gun. He just walked up to you and headbutt you.
But then you see like old man Pete that's probably been up there drinking on the job. He's like, oh fuck, and he just kind of sneaks back in.
Oh yeah, there's one guy that doesn't help. He's like, oh no, my friends have been headbutted to death. I'm leaving.
That's Bob Odenkirk.
No, it's
that's
not.
a different guy.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure
Absolutely.
that's Bob
Yeah, it's a
Odenkirk.
different guy.
All right.
Some
well,
old guy.
In this Rebel Alliance is a guy who looks like Bob Odenkirk and might be Bob Odenkirk.
He's not Bob Odenkirk.
But he's not Bob Odenkirk. It's amazing. But
Gary
we're gonna call
Lewis or something.
Yeah, we're gonna call him Bob Odenkirk for the rest of the time. Check it out. He's Bob Odenkirk. So like that guy comes back and he's like, hey, I guess I need to tell you guys about the blacksmiths are invading. Should we do something? And they're like, they're pretty cash about it.
Oh, by the way, they're more. And then, as he's telling this, and then they look at the goth kid, and they're like, hey, that little fucker is a traitor.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what? We're being attacked? No, fuck that kid over there in the corner.
Get
Screw him.
And the dragon's suddenly now like, no, he's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Call
So-
your dragon. If he attacks, we'll kill it.
It's very urgent in this scene. But in the next scene, they're like, oh, let's go to dinner first.
Yeah.
Like, well, we're being attacked. We better call to arms.
You want a tour of our rebel base?
Instead, they're like, oh, we're going to show you your room. So, freshen up, do whatever. We'll be
Take it
back.
back. Yeah.
Meet up for dinner at 7, and then maybe after that, we can let them yell through our barricade.
Oh no, he has to suit up. We gotta give you your new shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now-
and who designed this?
So this is where Tom Brady comes back in.
Okay.
He's dressed made out of deflated footballs.
No, that this kid looks stupider than Tom Brady looked at the gala.
Yes.
But about as fancy. That's the thing, is when armor is fancy, it kind of sucks.
It sucks pretty
It's
bad.
not really armor anymore.
Right.
I thought it looked like, those toolboxes that are back of crux, right? And
yeah,
they
diamond
have
plate.
the diamond plate look.
Uh-huh.
That's what it looked like to me, is that they just borrowed some of that and then spray painted it.
I'm afraid you are both incorrect. He is wearing what is supposed to be perceived to be dragon scales.
Sure, but
he's got dragon scale armor, which everybody knows is the best type of armor.
yeah, but this is just a Versace dress.
It is a Versace dress. Maybe dragon scale armor just looks stupid and you can't do it.
Here's the problem with dragon scale armor in a movie where the dragon doesn't have scales.
Yep, that's the problem.
It has feathers.
It's Dolly Trouton.
They murdered Dolly
They
Trout
murdered Dolly
to
Trout.
make his suit. All right, so battle time. The blacksmiths bust through the barrier, and they're like, "Roar, let's go!"
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to ask that question. How did they get through the barrier? Because they didn't... It was like they were like, "Roar," and then the wall blew up.
They went ha-cha
That's
from Dune and then blew up the wall.
it's not a wall.
The spice.
It's not a barrier. It's part of the mountain.
They just yell through the mountain and it blows up.
Right.
And then they just sort of walk through. Like, hey, we're here now.
They don't have a battering ram. They don't have any explosives, nothing. They yell at it. Okay, I guess that's how it works. Cool.
There's also a really weird shot before this where it like shows they started to do like the town prep for battle montage, but they abandoned it after about 3 shots. And the third shot was people dumping ink into the river.
Right.
And then there's another shot where you clearly see the people running into that spot of the river, and then nothing happens. So you wonder what sort of stupid thing was so dumb that the editor had to just fucking throw it in the trash.
Right,
there.
but forgot to throw the establishment of it away.
Could not throw the rest of it away because there wasn't enough shots.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking it was going to turn into one of those Beastmaster moments where it was supposed to be some kind of tar or oil that they would light on fire in order to create a barricade.
Yeah.
But then
Nothing.
Nothing.
This was the lamest city fight ever.
This entire final sequence is pretty lame. Fucking Robert Carlyle's there. He's got his own dragon.
You know what he's got? He's got real bad herpes flare-up.
Ooh.
Because from the last time you see him, he's still just sort of stupid-faced. But now his lips are just like covered in cold sores.
Right.
And all of his face tattoos are gone and he's like really white. So he's like, I got up late and I couldn't put on any makeup and I've got a real bad herpes flare-up.
Yeah. Is this like he's mad face, or is this like this is his power face? Like when he turns into like he's really ready to go, his face gets crappy looking.
His face gets crappy. That's it.
Okay. He seems as powerful as he was before. I don't know. Anyways, he's got a fucking dragon.
He doesn't. These are like, because the movie's like, it's not a dragon, it's dark magic.
Right.
It looks like a dragon.
It's the monster from Gods of Egypt is what he's got.
Yeah. It looks a lot like it's been, originally its asset was the little monsters from Pitch Black. Its head has the same shape. It looks like it was, they took with those and then added stuff to
the
it.
Lost Smoke Monster.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they fight Eragon, his dragon, and Robert Carlyle and his thing. And the dragon gets her head bit up pretty good. Like it goes into the other thing's mouth. Like pretty good. It's in there.
Yeah.
Neck.
Whole head.
Yeah.
So she can't fly very good. She's going to crash. And she's losing dragon vision, so he can't see very well either. And he's like, oh, I know what I have to do. I have to turn off my targeting computer.
Yep. Luke, you've turned off your targeting computer. I'm okay.
Right. And then he gets a fastball special.
He gets a fastball special, which is going to be obscure because only so many people played Titanfall 2.
Wait, what?
But we'll get back to that.
What? Wait, what? Are you fucking kidding me, dude, right now?
Oh,
Your dork card has been rejected.
Oh, no, I was meaning with only so many people that listen to this show played Titanfall 2.
Nope, you're making it
Silly?
worse. You know what this fastball special is? It's when Colossus chucks Logan at things.
Oh.
That's how you take down a fucking mutant killing thing. Now, oh shit, I fucked up. What are those things called?
Sentinels.
Sentinels, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
now I remember I was just so fresh in my mind because I just played fucking Titanfall 2.
Right. There's a but that's the
It's
Titanfall
from-
reference is a reference to fucking Wolverine.
Chris Claremont, yeah.
God damn it, Sam.
And I'm the Chris Claremont guy here. That sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so Grima's dead. It goes right into his fucking heart. Got him where it counts, I guess. And poof, he's gone. Falcor's pretty fucked up here. The dragon. Its head got bit pretty good. Its neck's bleeding out. There's not fire inside of it, just blood. So Eragon's like, okay, well, I'm going to try to heal you with my heal magic, my heal spell. And she's like, it's not going to work, but I guess it does because she's good the next scene. Cool.
Everything's fine.
Everything's great.
But ultimately, the movie didn't resolve anything.
Nothing.
And we find out.
It didn't even resolve its own fucking final battle sequence because guess what? The blacksmiths are still attacking. All you did was kill Robert Carlyle.
Oh, they addressed that. The
Oh?
dragon swooped in and burned them all.
All of them in one fell swoop.
Yes.
I don't think it did, Jay.
And he's,
No.
yeah.
I saw it burninate 3 guys. And that was the entire representation of the blacksmiths, which I guess is enough. They're blacksmiths. If you get lit on fire by a dragon and you're a blacksmith, you're probably going to be like, retreat.
Retreat. I get enough of this at work.
All right, so Princess Leia has ridden off into the distance. She's going to go do some ambassador work. I don't know. She'll probably head back to Alderaan to fucking talk to her dad, Bale, and be like,
Yeah.
dude, you suck.
She's also a Native American now.
Right. Offensive.
She's got 3 other white dudes dressed as Native Americans.
Uh-huh.
Like, why'd you even fucking do that?
Why did you even do that? She says goodbye to him. You'll see me again. She gives him a medal, and Chewbacca roars.
Yeah. She has a hard time fighting off the lemon face during this scene.
Yeah, right. That's the movie. Oh, no, that's not the movie.
No, it's not the movie
No.
because then we realize the horror.
Of Malkovich.
There was a dragon hiding behind a map at John Malkovich's house.
He's like, bleh, and pulls back the curtains of his map curtains, I guess.
Yeah.
And the dragon, he's got his own dragon. Sequel, no.
No.
I have so many questions about this dragon.
Okay, let's get all the Star Wars shit out of the way first.
Okay.
Let's clear that out. It's not just us, right? This
No,
is just
this
Star
is
Wars.
It's not even just Star Wars because it doesn't even do a good job copying Star Wars.
There's scenes where it's just
It's
Star Wars.
Wars, yeah.
The standout is the Dagobah sequence.
Yeah.
Where it's like, dude, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
The fuck?
And Star Wars was much more clever about how it regurgitated its all of its parts are regurgitations from either Hidden Fortress, Dune, or Lord of the Rings, but it's much clever. It's a much more clever way of, the veil is cast better, say.
Yeah. Right.
This is a very thin veil. This movie's like, this is Star Wars with dragons. And I think its biggest problem is that it's Star Wars with dragons and that the foundation of it is the friendship between the boy and the dragon, and Star Wars doesn't fit on top of that foundation.
No, not really.
And it's like I keep mentioning Titanfall 2 because that, if you've ever played the campaign to Titanfall 2, the story in that is the story you want to tell on that foundation.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Is that his sister?
We only have this information to work with, right?
Yes.
And the only thing that we have to compare it to is Star Wars. I can't think that she's not. They imply like there's some touching and like a little physical contact between the two of them that's not very brother and sister like. But don't forget, Luke made out with Leia, so I think it's his sister.
I think it's his sister.
Yeah, me too.
Is John Malkovich his dad? Why not?
I think he's his dad.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, how's this kid like? How does he have the ability to be a dragon rider?
It would explain.
Where does it come from?
If he's his dad and her dad, then it would explain why her mom, the mom that's mentioned, is just rapidly leaving these kids' places.
Right.
It
With
would all
Uncle
make.
Ben and Aunt Beru.
And if you're copying Star Wars this heavily, why would you stop?
Why
would you not copy the good parts?
go
right?
all the way?
Yeah, if you're going to copy the Star Wars, you should copy the good parts of it.
Go balls deep into Star
Yeah.
Wars plagiarism.
Because, like, that's the thing. Everyone that watches Star Wars Return of the Jedi is like, oh my fucking God, Darth Vader's his dad. Burp. Yeah, that's the big wow moment for the series. Why would you leave that one behind?
Does the third one have tiny bears that overthrow the Empire?
You could leave out that part. I'm good on Star Wars questions.
What happens if the Dragon Riders are put back in charge?
I am to assume that the world becomes another Dragon Rider battle where everyone gets on fire.
It's Reign of Fire.
They don't like pave this clear path to a benevolent utopia brought to you by dragons.
And guys on them.
Yeah, guys on them.
I mean, they're not qualified, right?
No.
Like, you're in charge of Earth or Astoria or whatever it's fucking called.
Yeah.
You don't get elected. This is not a democracy. It's just, you know what? A dragon thinks I'm neat.
A watery
I'm in charge now.
A watery tart throwing his sword at you isn't the basis of a government.
Right. Nice reference right there. No, I don't think it's going to work out.
I don't think it's going to
I
be
don't
good.
think dragon men should be in charge of shit.
Shit, no.
Except for dragon shit.
No, it's like the doggy bags at the park. You clean that shit up. That's your dragon shit.
Which segues us into our favorite round of all of our podcast episodes, the Dragon Rules question round. How does the dragon work? Jackie, let's start with you.
So, if the king already had a dragon, why did he want the other egg? Was his dragon in a wheelchair?
He wants to have the only dragon.
I don't think that's how it works. Like, why not just smash the egg up then at that point and, like, kill it while it's weak? Because eventually it's going to hatch.
Yeah.
And eventually it's going to fuck shit up, right?
Yeah, he shouldn't have had that in the first place.
No.
Not for storytelling purposes.
So is his dragon handicapped then and unable to fight now?
No, he's an idiot. He's
an idiot.
He's an idiot. He thinks it's a jelly bean. He either has to think it's a jelly bean or he's mad. Because even if his dragon sucked, like if it was Gimpy or something, you kill the other dragon.
You're like, hey, dragon, eat this dragon egg, buddy.
Yeah.
And the dragon's like, cool, bro.
Done. No story. Hooray.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a giant ass plot hole that you picked up on right there. What a dum-dum. Sam, you got any dragon questions?
I think I have the big dragon question, so I'll wait.
Okay. Do dragons fart fire?
I'm going to have to think yes.
I'm going to have to go with yes as well.
Does this dragon fart fire?
This dragon has to because its propulsion system has to be its butt because it doesn't flap its wings.
Yeah. It's a fucking jet fighter.
Yeah, it farts. Like it's an F-16. It has an F-16 for a butt.
So and I know we're a little obsessed on this podcast with poop and farts, but if it farts fire, does it even have poo? Because it would shit poo, because a donkey's not going to turn into something else when you eat it. It's just going to be poop. Does it dispose of its own poop?
So it's kind of
like lighting the poop on fire.
That's what it is. It's like self-scavenging exhaust on a hot rod.
Right.
Yeah, this thing doesn't shit. It just shoots fire out of its ass, and that's its jet power.
Right, which means that there is no circle of life with dragons. Like, it doesn't create poo for the ground, and the ground grows and plant life, and then the cow eats the grass, and then the people eat the cow, and then the dragon eats the people, and then makes more poo. If dragons are in charge, the circle of life is broken and we all die.
Yeah. Which is what they say in the movie Reign of Fire, I think.
No, those guys just couldn't cook food because the dragons were like, we're going to burninate your food.
Okay.
And also, we're stupid. And you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're dumb.
You're like,
jump into my mouth.
Hey, Lincoln, bro. Jump in that dragon's mouth. Okay. I'm going to be so badass. Gulp.
All right, Jackie, you're next.
What is that dragon doing behind the curtain? Behind the map.
How long has the dragon been behind the map?
Yeah, like what is it doing back there? Like they could not have given him like a comfy area with like a dragon couch and
you need a pretty big place to keep a dragon, and I would think next to your throne, like, isn't gonna cut it. Like, the only thing keeping you from this room that is huge to store your giant ass dragon is a curtain?
Yeah.
I don't think so, bro.
You know what happened?
Hmm.
They were having a rousing round of hide and seek
Ooh.
that got out of hand. And he's like, I found you. And he was so excited that he cut open his map on. He's like, I could have just moved that, but I cut it open. But I found you. You're it. I'm hiding now. Let's try to be, let's calm it down though so we don't break all my shit.
If there are only 2 dragons left in this world, one of them is a black one that lives behind a curtain, and the other one is a jelly bean. Who made the jelly bean?
That's a good question.
How does dragon sexual reproduction work?
Now, this is the thing, as I feel like we were able to figure out the dragon internal combustion system.
Right.
But its life cycle doesn't seem to make any sense to me.
Not according to the rules of this film.
It just has it's just an egg that's been there, ready to become a dragon that's bonded to somebody.
But where does the egg come from?
It doesn't.
Up your butt and around the corner.
That's not an answer.
It doesn't seem to come from dragons.
It can't.
And the only way that this really works, because we don't know if John Malkovich's dragon's a lady, or if all the dragons are ladies. And if all the dragons are ladies, dragon riders are having sexual relations with the dragons, and that's where dragon babies come from.
That is the only possible answer in the context of this film, is that if you're a dragon rider, you fuck your dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That is your betrothed.
Huh.
That's just fucking creepy.
And hence the sexy dragon voice.
Yeah.
Because if it was motherly, it's a little, no, that's not going to work. No, that kid bones that dragon.
Yeah.
Gross.
Well, if you love the Force, you're married to the Force, right?
Yeah.
If your dragon is the source of your power, well,
that's what way they just got left on the cutting room floor. The Jeremy Irons singer is like, sure, I liked ladies' squishy bits, but then I stuck my dick in a dragon. Never turned back.
There's a lot of problems with that scenario. Like, the inside of a dragon's vagina is a scientific wonder, as it were. Like,
well,
how does that work? Does it also piss fire?
Because that's now where we've already established that it's an internal combustion system. So,
it's pretty hot inside there.
Yeah.
How do you like it? Awfully hot and awfully wet.
Like a dragon.
Like
a dragon's vagina? Is that a thing? That's like the part that nobody ever talks about.
Yeah, that should have been Frank Drebin's line.
Yeah.
Like a dragon's vagina.
Because if there was boy dragons and girl dragons in dragons movies, and we just stay away from dragon privates. Because otherwise in movies you'd be like, whoa, did you see that dragon's dick? It was huge. Massive armored penis.
Right. What's the big one, Sam?
Is Sephora less appointing than Falkor?
Dude, Falkor's sweet.
Now, here's the thing. I'm going to preface this, that the first time you see Falkor, though, it's a bit of a letdown, because you're like, the movie says, oh, you're about to see a dragon. You're like, oh, shit. Dragon, and that's a fucking dog.
It's a Cocker Spaniel.
It's a Cocker Spaniel that flies. By the end of the movie, you like Falkor pretty good.
Yeah, but its initial reveal is not dragon-like.
No.
By any means.
It's rough at first. You're like, that's definitely a dog.
Dude, no. Because there's a little bit of establishment there, because if you ever watch those, Chinese dragon parades, the masks that the front guy wears, those dragons kind of share some similarity to Falkor's face. Falkor doesn't have scales. He's got fur.
He has scales on his belly.
Right, fish scales.
Yeah,
fish scales. More like giant zits, but shiny bits, but they're not scaly.
Yeah.
They're bubbly. But his face is similar to those Chinese dragon masks. So I'm not quite that disappointed. When I see Sephora, I'm pretty disappointed because it's cute. And that sucks. Dragons shouldn't be cute. They should be badass.
They're cute when she's first revealed, but it has a second reveal, and the second reveal is falls flatter than the first one. And you're like, it's a griffin and it's blue and it's got fucking feathers.
Yeah, blue is a bad choice for dragons. Jackie, you with me on that?
I like Falco more.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
He's got better personality.
Well, of course.
So this
I'm a
dragon
luck dragon.
is less dragonly than a dragon that's a fucking dog.
Correct. Final recommendations, guys. Starting with Sam.
Oh yeah. No, I'm super glad that I watched this one again because I thought it was good.
Now, say it was the first time. Just pretend, because that's what we're recommending. Should somebody watch this if they haven't seen it before?
Yes, and I think you should watch this with friends because if you want to riff a movie, this thing is low-laying fruit.
It is really easy.
Oh man, just making and just doing the Star Wars quote scene by scene with it is a good time.
Because you don't have any choice. I mean, the film is setting up the line that you know that comes next, which is, you know, you must come with me to Alderaan if you to stop the blah, blah, blah. Jackie, you?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay.
I mean, for all of its riffability that we've been talking about this whole time, it's not a bad storyline.
It's Star Wars
It's molested Star Wars
with some pretty serious plot holes in it, and very well may qualify as the idiot plot. I would say it's a pretty bad story, Jackie.
Do.
Okay. Still a do from you, which is fine. Yeah, I'm going to give it a do. It's not great. It's not like shenanigans throughout. There's, you know, it's just dumb. It reminds me a lot of that Seventh Son movie that came out a couple years ago with Julianne Moore.
Yeah,
and,
I liked this a lot better.
Jeff Bridges. I did too, but the same level of dumbness to it. And very highly riffable for sure. So, but I think if you did it one time, I think we're done with it.
Yeah.
I think we've milked it as good as we could do. There's not going to be a revisit on Eragon. So if you've already gone down that trip, there's no, you're done. You're good.
And I think it's good that you compared it to Seventh Son because it's just they're both high on the list of swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to make a dragon movie. Yeah, you didn't. Whoops.
Whoopsie. All right, we got a stream of do's and don'ts this week. Sylvester Stallone on HBO Now from 1991, I believe. Cast of a bunch of character actors in this, but it's Oscar is the name of the movie.
Yeah,
which was an old play, an old stage play. This is adapted for film for Stallone.
I bet this would be a really fun play to see live.
Maybe, I don't know.
I didn't like the movie.
It's directed by John Landis.
Yeah,
this killed his career.
This is John Landis's demise.
Who else we got in this? But like I say,
Kurtwood
Smith, every character actor ever, pretty much.
Tim Curry
stops by for a while. Marissa Tomei,
very early Marissa Tomei appearance.
Yeah. And the wife is somebody too.
Yeah,
she was an Italian model, but she sort of like burned bright and fast, and she was off the scene.
This movie stinks. It's real bad. It's annoyingly bad.
It's hard to watch.
There's one running joke. It's like a Bugs Bunny joke that gets beat into your head over and over and over again. Don't call me boss. Sorry, boss. Over and over and over. Like the annoying yap dog and the big, gee, Spike, what are we going to do today? Shut up. Like that bit that just gets stale so early on and shitty and dumb and go away.
And the bag. The bag for me was like that too. It just over and over and over again with this stupid fucking bag. I mean, it must have been swapped out, 10 times? And each time you're just like, oh God, not this again. Just let this part be resolved so we can move on to the bankers.
So we can, that's a good point.
Harry Shearer.
The bankers, and there's a lot of the other people.
It's not the banker. He's the tailor.
The tailor.
Yeah.
This is Landis really like, he called in all of his favors. You got like half the cast of Animal House in this.
Right?
Falling flat on their faces. Just awful.
It reminds me of like the same attempt of comedy that Clue was pursuing, but Clue is fantastic.
I haven't seen it in so long I couldn't get I loved it when I was a kid.
It's super funny. Delivers. But like that constant, we're jumping from this to this to this to this, and keeping everybody off. What is that? Off balance.
Yeah.
But none of it is ever on balance.
None of that's the thing. It tries to do what you have to do with either a single location film or a film that's adapted from a play to look like a play, is it tries to move as fast as it can. And it does move. It's just that you were never sitting upright for this joyride to begin with.
And you want to slap every single person in the face.
Yeah, it moves sideways and you're like, what the fuck, the whole time.
Stallone stinks. Everybody stinks.
Everybody stinks.
The script is just fucking garbage.
It's a bad joke, too.
Right.
The whole thing is just a bad joke.
Right.
And I think that it would be charming if it's done right as a play, because I like the long con on a bad joke. But this is just all this build up to bankers, they're the real criminals.
Yeah, exactly.
But it took too long to get there, and you missed it, too. It was like no one even got that was the punchline the way that this was delivered.
Right. Jackie, where are you at on this?
I probably would say to watch it.
Whoa!
I'd give it a do. Yes, it does have those annoying bits in it, but the pace of it is fast enough that you can kind of forgive things. And I liked the kooky police from across the street.
Kurtwood Smith.
Oh, Kurtwood Smith, yeah.
Yeah. And I really, really liked the beginning of it with with his dad, who was
oh God, I hate it. Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
I liked that part. I thought it was funny when everybody thinks he's dead and then he sits up and hits him again.
Yeah. I didn't think that was funny at all.
I didn't think that was funny at all.
I thought it was hilarious.
It's man, I'm gonna say this one's a tough one. So I can't, in good conscience, give it a do unless we throw out that qualifier that you're a film historian of shitty films, because this is an important shitty film. It's a big deal.
It's the demise of John Landis, and it is got to be one of the things that had Stallone tumbling sideways for 10 years.
For 10 years. Stop Your Mama Shoots right in there. There was another one right after this that stinks and is awful, and he won the Razzie for as well. He won the Razzie for this. It is a big bad movie, but man,
I think it's almost it's the film historian thing even more because of studio resources used to make that. They had Universal Pictures full lot for probably 4 months to make this thing.
Yeah, there was a lot of belief in this. You can clearly see that the people believed this was going to be awesome. And it is
the claymation singing sequence at the beginning.
Yeah.
Everything. Nothing works in this movie.
Nothing. Ugh.
It would have been better at the beginning instead of that little guy if it would have been a singing sausage.
All right, well, there's your show, gang. Thanks again to Jack B for everything he did for the show and does for the show, and suggesting Eragon to us.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you for making me revisit that pile of hilarity.
Next up is the start of the cycle again in year 5. It's my pick, and I think we're going to go with one that you guys have not seen. I've checked out, and I think it's a big deal and kind of underrated and underappreciated in the bad movie film genre. It's called Hawkeye. So streaming on Amazon Prime right now. So check out Hawkeye this week, and come back to us on Monday and get to the chopper. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.